Good Monday morning to all of you, and it is a great Monday morning on this this Monday, June 26th, 2023. It's episode 9 of DMS 3000 News Live, and I'm your host, Jason DECANIO. Once again, hope you had a fantastic weekend, and I'd like to thank Brandon Martin for 3 great first shows that he did last week. He did a fantastic job. Brandon, keep it up, my friend. You're doing fantastic. We got a great show lined up for you today as well. But as always, first, I am, of course, Jason DECANIO. And today on the program, we're going to be looking at the do's and don'ts of good customer service. Today is the 25th anniversary of Windows 98 for all those who, were part of the Microsoft evolution of the late 90s, which started with like Windows XP, Windows 95, Windows 98. So we're going to look at Windows 98 to celebrate 25 years. And for all you Yankees fans out there, happy birthday 49th to Derek Jeter. So that's all going to be coming up later on the program. Plus, of course, headlines, sports, news of the weird, and what is today's day. It's gonna work out pretty good too. We have, of course, our ticker at the bottom of the show. That's going to be all there as well. But first, I'd like to lead us all in prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, we thank you for another great week that we are here today. And we thank you, of course, for being alive and well, able to wake up in the morning, start our Monday mornings off on the right foot. We hope that you will give us the courage and the strength to face whatever challenges we have throughout our day. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen. Okay. We're going to start off first. Why is my mouse not working today? Mouse does not want to work. The mouse does not want to work. The mouse is being stupid. All right. So we're going to go again and get our headlines and sports and news of the weird. That'll be coming up right now. Of course, the headlines is what's going to be coming up first. Why is my mouse slow as molasses today? Look at this. All right. We've got today's headlines. We'll look at the national news right now. Mitch Landrieu is Biden's man to rebuild America and deliver broadband to millions. Well, this is the year that a lot of money from the Biden's 2021 infrastructure law starts flowing to states and local governments. Mitch Landrieu is tasked with implementing and promoting the effort. We're not doing that. A black couple won't crowdfund to pay medical debt. That's right. Christy Fields, a cancer patient in Virginia, was urged to go public to seek help for her medical bills, but she worried about feeding hurtful stereotypes. U.S. pedestrian deaths reached a 40-year high, and the number of pedestrians killed by drivers has been climbing for over a decade. Experts say some solutions are within reach. And let's see, black-owned radio station may lose license over FCC character qualifications policy. Joe Armstrong, owner of WJBE 99.7 FM, says the FCC is threatening to revoke his broadcast license over his conviction for a tax crime, one that occurred years before he took ownership of the station. And he walked away from his evangelical roots to escape, feeling suffocated. The evangelical movement was John Ward's church, his family, his community, his music, and his identity. And then he broke away. A train carrying hazardous materials plunges into Yellowstone River after the bridge falls. This is 2 days ago. A bridge that crosses the Yellowstone River in Montana collapsed early Saturday, plunging portions of a freight train carrying hot asphalt and molten sulfur into the rushing water below. And they said her disabled brother died in prison naturally. A lawsuit alleges otherwise. This was on February 5th of last year. Charles Givens was found unresponsive in his cell at Marion Correctional Treatment Center. An autopsy and other documentation indicate Givens suffered a beating, the lawsuit alleges. And 7.5 million Baby Shark bat toys have been recalled after causing, puncture wounds. Baby Shark, Baby Shark. The company recalled mini and full-size versions of the toys after a dozen children were injured after sitting or falling onto them. Oh, boy. Yeah, so that's interesting as well. All right, let's go to some business ones here. A new pop-up flea market in LA space. LA makes space for plus-size thrift shoppers. Yes, plus-size shoppers often struggle to find thrift stores that cater to them. A new pop-up flea market in Los Angeles aims to change that. And he lost $340,000 to a crypto scam. Such cases are on the rise. He thought he was investing in cryptocurrency. In fact, he was being swindled out of his life savings. There has been a 900% increase in such cases since the pandemic began, federal regulators say. Home prices dip, Turkey's interest rate climbs, and Amazon gets sued. Housing prices are easing. Good news for home buyers, not great news for Adrian. Turkey's new central bank governor raises its interest rates. And is the FTC's Lena Khan riding into Amazon in a Trojan horse? Who knows? And Planet Money. Yes, money makes the world go around faster and faster all the time. At Planet Money, a multimedia team of reporters tracks down the economists, inventors, investors, and regular folks who are trying to make sense of the rapidly changing global economy. And finally, Mike the Mover versus the Furniture Police. In 1978, a young man named Mike Shanks started a moving business in the north end of Seattle. It was just him and a truck, a pretty small operation. Things were going great. Then one afternoon, he was pulled over and cited for moving without a permit. Oh! And those are the headlines for today, June 26th, 2023. Well, there was a lot of things going on in baseball right now. One of the things that's happening is my mouse still doesn't want to work today. I cannot believe this. Look at this thing. Look at how slow it is. Look at this. The mouse is all over the screen, but I cannot get it to do what it wants to do. One of the things is that I am officially not following the Mets as of today. Me and the MLB are breaking ties. I am giving up a 30-year reign of watching the Mets, and I'm just sick and tired of the way things are being handled by a team that has much more potential than the way they're playing. Moving on to hockey and basketball, folks. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever the Mets do from here on out, I don't really care. But I'm going to still give you the scores and everything and let you know what's going on, as it's time for the All-Star phase of Phase 2 that begins today at noon. Phase 1 of the 2023 MLB All-Star vote is complete, and here are the finalists who are moving on to Phase 2, which begins today, and who already clinched a starting spot in the Midsummer Classics. The top overall vote getters are, no surprise, National League leader Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves, also led overall as Shohei Ohtani of the Angels was the American League leader. As the leaders of the Phase 1 voting, Ohtani and Acuna earn automatic starting spots in the All-Star game on July 11th in Seattle. Ohtani will be the starting DH for the AL, and Acuna will be one of three starting outfielders for the NFL. The NFL. As for the rest of the ballot, the top two vote getters at each position and the top six outfielders are advancing to Phase 2 of the voting, which determines the All-Star Game starters. In the NL, because Acuna is already locked in as one outfielder, only the top four vote getters after him advance to Phase 2. Phase 2 voting continues until noon Eastern on Thursday, and fans can vote only once per 24-hour period on all MLB platforms for whom they want to see in the Midsummer Classic. Vote totals from Phase 1 don't carry over. The All-Star starters will be revealed on June 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. So here are all the players advancing to Phase 2 of the All-Star voting at each position in the AL and NL. You have Adley Rutschman of the Orioles and Jonah Heim of the Rangers. They're the two catchers. At first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays and Yandy Diaz from the Rays. At second base, Marcus Seaman from the Rangers, Whit Merrifield from the Blue Jays, Josh Jung from the Rangers. At third base, Matt Chapman will also play third. And at shortstop, Bo Bichette at the Blue Jays and Corey Seager from the Rangers. In the outfield, you have Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Randy Arozarena, can't even pronounce these guys' names, Jordan Alvarez from the Astros, Kevin Karamaya from the Blue Jays, and Aldalos Garcia from the Rangers. And then in the National League, the two catchers will be Sean Murphy from the Braves and Will Smith from the Dodgers. First base, Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers, Matt Olson from the Braves. That's two Braves already in there. Second base, Luis Alvarez from the Marlins and Ozzie Albies from the Braves. That's three Braves already in. Third base, Nolan Arendara from the Cardinals and Austin Riley from the Braves. Shortstop, Orlando Okaya from the Braves, Francisco Lindor from the Mets. And DHing will be J.D. Martinez from the Dodgers and Bryce Harper from the Phillies. In the outfield, it'll be Mookie Betts from the Dodgers, Corbin Carroll from the D-backs, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. from the D-backs, and Michael Harris II from the Braves. How many times have I said the Braves in this game, in this sequence? Right? Shows you how much really the Braves are just. Yeah, the best team practically playing baseball right now, but the Rays still have the overall hot hand, and yet more Braves players are going to be in the All-Star game than ever before. The scores right now from yesterday's games, Cardinals over the Cubs 7-5. It was the Twins 6, the Tigers 3. The Orioles keep winning. They beat the Mariners 3-2. It was the Phillies 7, the Mets 6, as the Mets drop another series to another Phillies team and cannot win for the sake of nobody. The Yankees 5, the Rangers 3. It was the Blue Jays crushing the Athletics 12-1. Oh my goodness. It was the Royals, they lost to the Rays 3-1 as the Rays still keep the hot hand. It was the Braves over the Reds 7-6 as they still keep their winning ways. Marlins 2, Pirates nothing as the Marlins keep putting pressure on the Braves. They're only 4.5 back of the Atlanta Braves. The Brewers 5, Guardians 4. It was the White Sox over the Red Sox 4-1. The Rockies over the Angels 4-3. The D-backs, they win again, dominating the Giants 5-2. The Nationals coming now, winning their 30th game and catching the Mets. They win over the Padres 8-3. And in the late game, it was the Astros 6 and the Dodgers 5. Your horoscope for today, folks, is this. Our emotions currently make for better guides than our logic. The moon in Libra squares the sun in Cancer, bringing relationships to the fore. But then Mars will square Uranus, shaking things up and leaving us uncertain of what will happen next. Intelligent Mercury in Gemini will quincux Pluto, adding a dose of intensity to our wildest ideas. But once the messenger planet steps into Cancer at 8:24 p.m., we should be able to recalibrate and come back to our own emotional centers. And there you go, have it, folks, the horoscopes for today, your general daily horoscope for June 26, 2023. When we come back, we're going to look at News of the Weird. I will have our first thing of do's and don'ts of good customer service, something we all should be looking at. That's all the way from employers to employees to the customers themselves. And I'll tell you right now, folks, you're going to get my opinion, and it's heavily directed towards customers, okay? So you can disagree, whatever you want. You can hate me for the rest of my time, but I'm telling you, I dealt with customers for 15 years. I know exactly what I have to do and what I don't have to do, but I also am firm and I'm fairness always to everybody. I don't play favorites. That's one of the things I do not do. We'll be right back when right after this.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I'm just gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Ooh, the flavor of tropical fruit. Ooh, la, la, la. Banana. La, la. Pina colada. Fruit punch. Ooh, la, mango melon. Ooh, la, la. Tangerine. La, la, la. This is paradise. Ooh, la, so full of life. Save us. Yum.
The average American visits about 7 different websites before booking a hotel.
I totally get that. We want to make sure that we get a great hotel for the best price. But why only 7 when there are so many more out there? Next time, before you book, check on Trivago. Trivago compares live prices from more than 150 different websites to make sure that you find the best price for your ideal hotel. Hotel? Trivago.
Really?
Gotcha! Able to pick up good yardage on the play. You know, the best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior
Hello?
linebackers.
Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
What's up? What's up?
Yo, who's that? Yo! Yo, pick up the phone! Hello?
What's up?
What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie!
Yo.
What's up?
What's up?
Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
I'll take a Whopper. Do you desire your pyrotechnically prepared beef to be customized with the addition or subtraction of key ingredients? No onions, extra pickles. And do you wish to be transformed into a two-dimensional character with yellow skin?
We have here what appears to be an alien invasion.
And the line between civilization and anarchy is eroding as
Out of my way, you punks!
Wow!
Lunchtime!
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Extra pickle, extra ketchup, extra mustard.
How about extra get lost?
What? What's going on?
Aliens have all the fun. Your Highness, your mission is complete.
The world is going Simpsons, and BK is in on it.
I know. All it takes is a touch-tone telephone for you to play Phone Jeopardy at home. And every time you call Phone Jeopardy, you could even win the $1,000 daily prize or the $10,000 grand prize.
Okay, you left out phone, Jeff, just so you know.
Where? How to get that point across.
Here we go, we're speeding along, here we go.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and immediately you'll be playing the new, easy Phone Jeopardy. I like the way the card stopped in the middle of all of that, but that's okay. And to start you on your way to winning big, we've included questions from recent Jeopardy shows. Here's a 100... You want to show me the next card too, John? No, just leave them there. She drank the poison that Captain Hook intended for Peter Pan.
Tinkerbell!
Fuck 'em.
Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee? I never tasted it. Now, what do you think of Wilkins?
I think Wilkins is the best coffee. Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live on Monday, June 26, 2023. I'm your host, Jason DECANIO. Episode 9 is upon us, and we're ready for our News of the Weird. Oh, yes. So let's go ahead, look at that as well, and get you on your way today. All of this is from the editors at Andrew McMeel Syndication for the week of June 23rd, 2023. All of that comes out every Friday. So last Friday, these new issues came out, and we'll look at them today. The lead story is an awesome one. Yes, visitors to the Rembrandt House Museum in Amsterdam can now bring home a new and permanent souvenir of their visit. Can now bring a home. Yeah, the Associated Press reported that tattoo artist Hank Schiffmaker and others are doing a residency within the museum called A Poor Man's Rembrandt, where tourists can get inked with sketches by the famous artist. Schiffmaker calls it highbrow to lowbrow, and it's great that these two worlds can visit one another. The tattoos cost between $54 and $270. Wait, what? Well, yeah. Employees of Tequila Garibaldi restaurants in Northern California got an unusual and unorthodox perk during work hours, USA Today reported. Employees testified in court that a person who identified as a priest was called in to hear workers' confessions. The priest urged workers to get their sins out and asked employees if they had stolen from the employer, been late for work, had done anything to harm their employer, or if they had bad intentions toward their employer, according to a release from the U.S. Department of Labor. But the Catholic Diocese of Sacramento said it could find no connection between the alleged priests and the diocese. An investigation found that the restaurants had denied overtime pay and threatened employees with retaliation, among other sins, and the owners were ordered to pay $140,000 in damages and back wages. In an office building in Durham, North Carolina, 9 scientists are hard at work in Duke University's Smart Toilet Lab. Yes, the News and Observer reported. Sonia Grego told the paper that she and her colleagues are addressing a very serious health problem, gut health. The toilets in the lab move poop into a specialized chamber before flushing it away. There, cameras are placed for image processing, and the resulting data can give doctors insights into a patient's gut health. Startup Coprata is testing pilot versions of the smart toilets in a few dozen households. After the data is gathered, users can access it themselves on a smartphone app. The knowledge of people's bowel habits empowers individuals to make lifestyle choices that improve their gut health, Grego said. Look at that. Mark DeCara of Lake Barrington, Illinois, allegedly shot himself in the leg on June 12th while dreaming of a home invasion, Insider reported. DeCara grabbed his .357 Magnum and fired, which instantly brought him to consciousness. There was no intruder in the home. Police found him in bed with a significant amount of blood. He was charged with possession of a firearm without a valid firearm owner's identification card and reckless discharge of a firearm. Oh, boy. Well, it's come to this. 55-year-old Cedric Lodge and his wife, 63-year-old Denise of Goffstown, New Hampshire, were indicted in federal court on June 14th. After it was revealed that they allegedly were stealing and selling human body parts. The Associated Press reported Lodge was the manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue until May 6th, when he was fired. And he and his wife offered a shopping opportunity at the morgue where buyers could pick which donated remains they wanted. The lodges would then take the items home and ship them through the mail. The parts included heads, brains, skin, and bones. And 3 other members were indicted. Katrina McLean, 44, of Salem, Massachusetts, 46-year-old Josh Taylor of West Lawn, Pennsylvania, and 52-year-old Matthew Lampe of East Bethel, Minnesota. Prosecutors said they were part of a national network of people who buy and sell human remains. Harvard called the actions morally reprehensible. And when 30-year-old Martin Trimble tried to rob a convenience store in Durham, England in May, the shop owner got the best of him. He lowered the store's steel shutter, trapping Trimble on his back half in and half out, and waited for authorities to arrive. And once Trimble realized he was pinned to the ground, Fox News reported he popped open one of the beers he tried to steal and drank it as he waited to be arrested. Trimble pleaded guilty on June 16 to attempted robbery and possession of a knife and was sentenced to 3 years in jail. Self-pitying Belgian TikToker 45-year-old David Barton has a morbid sense of humor, or a fragile ego. According to Sky News, Barton and his family decided to prank his friends by faking his own death because he felt unappreciated by them. Oh, Jesus. And the funeral, which took place in early June near Liège, drew a crowd of friends and family who were shocked when a helicopter landed nearby and Barton stepped out. What I see in my family often hurts me. I never get invited to anything. Nobody sees me, Barton said. That's why I wanted to give them a life lesson. That's right. KTVX TV reported on June 21st that snow in the mountains of Utah is turning pink, red, and orange, what scientists call watermelon snow. Experts said the colored snow results from blooming green algae, which is found in mountain ranges. The snow algae produce a pigment that basically darkens their cells, said Scott Hodling, who's an assistant professor at Utah State University's Department of Watershed Sciences. Basically, the algae turns colors to protect themselves, and one young visitor said the snow turned his shoes orange. I thought that was pretty cool, he said. The town of Stewart, Iowa needed a new water tower to handle its growing population, according to CRG-TV. But when residents saw the name painted on one side, they cringed. Rather than Stewart, it was like, S-T-U-A-R-T, the tower was painted with START, S-T-A-R-T. Now, Mayor Dick Cook called the social media attention about the misspelling hilarious, and the tower has been repainted. On Kajari Beach, formerly Fraser Island in Australia, a 10-year-old boy was bitten and dragged under the water by a dingo on June 16th, The Guardian reported. Not 2 weeks earlier, another dingo was euthanized after biting multiple tourists, including a French woman who was bitten on her posterior as she sunbathed. Well, in the most recent event, the boy's older sister rescued him, and he was treated for puncture wounds to his shoulder and arms. These animals are capable of inflicting serious harm. Some are quite brazen and are not fleeing when yelled at or when someone brandishes a stick, said Ranger Danielle Mansfield. Children and teenagers must be within arm's reach of an adult at all times. And finally, The Price is Right. Contestant Henry Chow went home with more than a trip to Hawaii on the episode that aired on June 16th. The Los Angeles Times reported. Chow threw his arms up and pumped his fist as he was first called on stage. Then he leapt into the air and pounded his chest. Well, afterward, he could be seen holding his right arm and stretching it out. Later in the show, host Drew Carey explained that Chow had dislocated his shoulder, and Chow's wife, Alice, was allowed to spin the wheel for him during the Showcase Showdown. When he won, he meekly lifted his uninjured left arm, but Alice jumped up and waved her arms. Don't hurt yourself, warned Carey. That's right, I remember seeing that on a YouTube clip. Yep. And send your weird news items with subject line Weird News to weirdnewstips@amuniversal.com. We thank the people at uexpress.com, the Andrews McMeel Syndication for News of the Weird. Yes. All right. Well, have you had good customer service lately? Or have you given good customer service lately? Or are you the victim of bad customer service and just cannot handle it? Well, we're going to look at good and the do's and don'ts of good and bad customer service, what to do and what not to do. And then I'm going to give you my unadulterated position on it as we look from the Zoho.com website. This is from Afshana Fatima. It was last updated on June 23rd, 2021, 2 years ago. She says, when was the last time you received outstanding customer service that persuaded you to use a business again? Well, in 2018, Microsoft surveyed 5,000 individuals across various countries to get insights on customer experiences. The report revealed that 95% of respondents consider customer service to be a vital factor in determining their brand loyalty, while 61% were ready to sever ties with a brand owing to a poor customer service experience. Now, customer service plays a crucial role in almost every business success, and it's fair to give all the credit it deserves. Today, it takes more than a great product, competitive pricing, and effective marketing for a brand to gain a loyal client base. Good customer service can often be what makes the difference. And not only does it help build genuine relationships, but it also helps you to gain strong advocates for your business as well. So if you're looking for strategies to enhance your customer service, you've landed in the right place. In this article, we'll go over some handy customer service do's and don'ts to help you provide a better experience for your customers. First, do show empathy. You know, in customer service, empathizing is the best way to let your customers know that their concerns matter. It's important to remember that customers are fellow human beings and more than just a source of revenue. Rather than a mere voice on the other end, they require you to place yourself in their shoes and relate to their problems. And while it's not always possible to give them a satisfactory solution, the least you can do is become compassionate. Simple phrases like, I'm sorry you had to go through this, or I'd feel upset if this happened to me, are often all you need to reinforce that they are being valued. And do practice clear communication. You know, good communication is necessary for customer service. This also implies that you must be a good listener. Listen to your customers' concerns without interrupting and pay close attention to the details they convey. Always use clear and simple language and never terminate a conversation without verifying if they understood precisely what you meant. The last thing you want to do is intimidate your customer by using jargon or technical terminology that they are unfamiliar with. And always follow up. You know, regular following up with customers builds trust and helps you reassure that everything is working well between you. This also gives them an impression that they weren't just another transaction for your business. Staying in touch with them can be as simple as writing a personalized thank you note for hitting a one-year milestone or sending birthday greetings. These are a few ways to show a customer that you appreciate them being a part of your journey. However, a follow-up call must never be used as an opportunity to make an extra sale. Instead, only use it to check in and ensure customer happiness. Your customer's time is valuable, and it's critical and it's crucial not to go overboard by contacting them too often. And be quick to respond. Yes, customers hate late responses, especially when they have a pressing issue to be resolved. Timeliness in answering a client's concern is important for good customer service, although dealing with a large number of client complaints can cause unpredicted delays. Sending an acknowledgement that you received their request can help pacify them. In a digital era where customer expectations are high, you must put in extra effort to keep the ball rolling. And while the above points can serve as a good foundation to form an effective customer service strategy, it's equally important to be mindful of everything you must avoid doing. And here are some don'ts. Don't lose your cool. Customers can be of all types. And while some may be patient enough for you to resolve their queries, others may not. And at times you may come across customers who are even abusive and make personal remarks. However, no matter how heated things get, maintain a polite and professional demeanor during any exchange. The key is never to lose your temper, regardless of how unpleasant a customer may be to deal with. And avoid accountability. Mistakes happen, and it's important to own them. And you can be assured that you're providing good customer service when you're willing to admit your mistakes and ready to take responsibility for a customer's distress, even if you aren't directly involved. Customers value honesty, and when they see that your business is genuinely apologetic and eager to make things right, they may be willing to do business with you instead of leaving a bad review or approaching your competitors. And don't make promises you can't keep. Yes, it's always better to tell customers the unpleasant reality than to promise them something that may or may not be fulfilled. And while it can be tempting to tell the customer what they'd like to hear, it's necessary to inform them when things may not turn out the way they want. For example, let's say a customer requests an early delivery of a product. In this case, the best you can do is ask the third-party logistics vendor to prioritize their order and hope the customer's expectations are met. And rather than telling the customer that you've made all the arrangements for them to receive their product sooner, inform them that the logistics team has been made aware of their request, and you'll do your best to meet their expectations. This ties back to communicating transparently while also emphasizing your dedication to meet your customers' needs. Don't treat your customers differently. Customers must be treated fairly, whether they've been loyal to you for years or made a one-time purchase. And while it's fine for businesses to give special privileges to long-term customers, it should never be used as an excuse to belittle or disregard others' queries. The goal of customer service is to make every customer feel valued. Therefore, it's important that you care about providing a solution for everyone, regardless of how profitable they are for your business. So transforming your customer service from poor to excellent won't happen overnight. It requires a serious commitment from your staff, good help desk software, and all the right tools to give your customers the finest experience. The good news is that it's never too late to make a difference. It doesn't matter what type of business you're in, enhancing your customer service is crucial to attain success. Are there any do's and don'ts in customer service that you want to add? Well, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And we thank the author of this article, Afshana Fatima, from the website zoho.com, from the business section of Talk Tech Down Under. Now, 15 years of customer service. I've seen it all. And I'm going to say this before we break for a little bit. Time is 8:40. I've seen customers of all types. Good ones, bad ones. I've seen myself as well try to handle situations as best we possibly can. I have lost my temper. Yes, I'll admit that. I think we've all lost our temper in some way, shape, or form. We're all guilty of it. But customers, please be aware that your companies are working for you. Your neighborhoods, local retailers are working to give you the best that you can possibly have in your area. Do appreciate them and do support them. They work hard to make a living just like you do. And realize, of course, that you also, a customer, has to deal with customer service as much as it. Because what if you work in customer service as well? You know it just as much. And if you're having a bad day, folks, wait until you can calm down, go home, and then go and resolve the issue with the merchant. It's better to have it be on a level playing field than to come off 15 minutes after you just got off of work and a hard day, and if you was having a bad day as well. I think the experience might be a little bit better if customers realize that they play a vital part just as much as merchants do. And even though we have the do's and don'ts, not everybody agrees to those do's and don'ts. And there's always debates on these things. My thing is, if a customer comes to me wanting to, get a refund or something of the sort, I'll know if that customer is really trying to play me for the money or not. So as much as I have seen everything from a perspective of an employee, I have also seen it on the customer side as well too, because I have tried my best to try to get either my money back or something. But I know going into a merchant as a customer myself have had some issues where I was very upset, but I kept my cool because it was not worth the effort to start an argument or a scene in a merchant's place, because all heads then turn on you and then you look like the bad person. So do yourself a favor, tone down the situation and take it to a different time and place where you have more control over the situation. Customers, you control how things are going to be, but the merchant also helps you become very good in your community by showing good customer service. Next up on the program, we'll look at the 25th anniversary of Windows 98 and a big happy birthday, 49, to Derek Jeter. We'll be right back with more of DMS 3000 News Live, Episode 9, after this.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
McDonald's hotcakes for breakfast. Fresh cooked and deliciously light. Served with whipped butter and syrup. Moorish. And only $1.95.
It's my time, McDonald's. It's my time.
Hello?
Jake's warming up.
Excuse me?
Come on, guys, quit playing games. Get Bobby up right now.
I think you might have the wrong number.
What? Who's this?
Who's this? Brother, you called me. You got the wrong number,
I
okay?
don't know what you guys doing.
Freak.
This is Brad. He's using Roadrunner High-Speed Online to play along with Game Show Network's lingo on GSN.com. He got it for just $34.95 a month for 6 months. Brad hasn't left his room since. When Brad signed up for Roadrunner, he was entered to win a 51-inch Sony high-def TV. And they're trying to deliver it now.
Hey, Brad, open the door.
Sign up for Roadrunner today. You'll save money and have a chance to win one of these great Sony prizes from Game Show Network.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cheese.
Interrupting?
Cheese!
Should have seen that one coming.
You should have, because that was... I even told you I was going to be interrupting you. Morning, sir. Beautiful day, isn't it?
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Night and day, the calls. Save me this, save me that. I'm a gecko, not Geico. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So you want to change your name? People confusing you with Geico, calling you at all hours? What name would you like?
Komodo Dragon, please.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
Aflac. The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Hey, Guy Fieri here. As host of TV's Ultimate Recipe Showdown, I see great home cooks face off every week. We looked at thousands of recipes, and now the dishes inspired by our champions are all at Fridays. People spent years perfecting these, There's so much going on here. Smokiness, sweetness, big seasoning, big flavor. You gotta check this out. Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu starting at just $8.99. Give me more Fridays.
From Hasbro Gaming. Where will your choices take you in the game of life? What job will you choose?
To start filling my law firm with clients and stop filling your faces with donuts. Now get out! I'm definitely going to be a lawyer.
But watch out for life surprises.
Whoa, I'm having twins.
Congratulations! It's twins! Anything can happen in the game of life. From Hasbro Gaming. Here's 2 more. Good luck with that.
Xiaomi.
25 years ago, Microsoft launched Windows 98 to the public, and this is the day 25 years later. You know, Windows 98 is a consumer-oriented operating system developed by Microsoft as part of its Windows 9X family of Microsoft Windows operating systems. The second operating system in the 9X line, it is the successor to Windows 95 and was released to manufacturing on May 15th of 1998 and generally to retail on June 25th of the same year. Like its predecessor, it is a hybrid 16-bit and 32-bit monolithic product with a boot stage based on MS-DOS. And Windows 98 is a web-integrated operating system that bears numerous similarities to its predecessor. Most of its improvements were cosmetic or designed to improve the user experience, but there was also a handful of features introduced to enhance the system functionality and capabilities, including improved USB support and accessibility, as well as support for hardware advancements such as DVD players. Windows 98 was the first edition of Windows to adopt the Windows driver model and introduced features that would become standard in future generations of Windows, such as disk cleanup, Windows Update, multi-monitor support, and internet connection sharing. Well, Microsoft has marketed Windows 98 as a tune-up to Windows 95 rather than an entirely improved next generation of Windows. And upon its release, it was generally well received for its web-integrated interface and ease of use, as well as its addressing of issues present in Windows 95. Although some pointed out that it was not significantly more stable than its predecessor, Windows 98 sold an estimated 58 million licenses and saw one major update known as Windows 98 Second Edition, released on May 5th of 1999. After the release of its successor, Windows ME in 2000, mainstream support for Windows 98 and 98 SE ended on June 30th of last year, followed by extended support on July 11th of 2006. Following the success of Windows 95, the development of Windows 98 began, initially under the development codename Memphis. The first test version, Windows Memphis Developer Release, was released in January of 1997. Memphis first entered beta as Windows Memphis Beta 1, that was released on June 30th of 1997. And it was followed by Windows 98 Beta 2, which dropped the Memphis name and was released in July. Microsoft had planned a full release of Windows 98 for the first quarter of 98, along with a Windows 98 upgrade pack for Windows 95, but it also had a similar upgrade for Windows 3.x operating systems planned for the second quarter. Stacy Brayfogle, a product manager from Microsoft, explained that the later release of the upgrade for Windows 3 was because the upgrade required more testing than that for Windows 95 due to the presence of more compatibility issues and without user objections. Microsoft merged the two upgrade packs into one and set all of their release dates to the second quarter. On December 15th, Microsoft released Windows 98 Beta 3, and it was the first build to be able to upgrade from Windows 3.1X and introduced new startup and shutdown sounds. Near its completion, Windows 98 was released as Windows 98 release candidate on April 3rd of 1998, which expired on December 31st. This coincided with a notable press demonstration at Comdex that month, and Microsoft CEO Bill Gates was highlighting the operating system's ease of use and enhanced support for plug-and-play. However, when presentation assistant Chris Koposela plugged a USB scanner in, the operating system crashed, displaying a blue screen of death. Bill Gates remarked after derisive applause and cheering from the audience, "That must be why we're not shipping Windows 98 yet." Video footage of this event became a popular internet phenomenon, and Microsoft had quietly marketed the operating system as a tune-up to Windows 95. It was compiled as Windows 98 on May 11th of 1998 before being fully released to manufacturing on May 15th. The company was facing pending legal action for allowing free downloads of and planning to ship Windows licenses with Internet Explorer 4.0 in an alleged effort to expand its software monopoly. Microsoft's critics believed the lawsuit would further delay Windows 98's public release. It did not, and the operating system was released on June 25th of 1998. And here we are 25 years later. A second major version of the operating system called Windows 98 Second Edition was later unveiled in March of 1999, and Microsoft compiled the final build on April 23rd, 1999, before publicly releasing it on May 5th of 1999. So Windows 98 was to be the final product in the Windows 9X line until Microsoft briefly revived the line to release Windows Me in 2000 as the final Windows 9X product line before the introduction of Windows XP in 2001, which was based on the Windows NT architecture and kernel used in Windows 2000. So, for all of you people who used Windows 98 and used it till it got to the point where it was so outdated, happy 25th birthday to Windows 98. When we come back, we'll look at another birthday. A happy 49th birthday to Derek Jeter, the one-time Yankees player who was solid as a rock. We'll look at his grand life and wish him a happy birthday when we come back right after this.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I'm just gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Ooh, the flavor of tropical fruit. Ooh la la la. Banana. La, la. Pina colada. Fruit punch. Mango melon. Ooh la la. Tangerine. This is paradise. Ooh la la. So full of life. Save us. Yum.
The average American visits about 7 different websites before booking a hotel.
I totally get that. We want to make sure that we get a great hotel for the best price. But why only 7 when there are so many more out there? Next time, before you book, check on Trivago. Trivago compares live prices from more than 150 different websites to make sure that you find the best price for your ideal hotel. Hotel Trivago.
Really?
Gotcha! Able to pick up good yardage on the play. You know, the best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior
Hello?
linebackers.
Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
What's up?
Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone. Hello?
What's that?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Duke. Yo.
What's that?
What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True. True.
I'll take a Whopper. Do you desire your pyrotechnically prepared beef to be customized with the addition or subtraction of key ingredients? No onions, extra pickles. And do you wish to be transformed into a two-dimensional character with yellow skin?
We have here what appears to be an alien invasion.
And the line between civilization and anarchy is eroding as
Out of my
we...
way, you punks! Wow, lunchtime.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Extra pickle, extra ketchup, extra mustard.
How about extra get lost?
What? What's going on?
Aliens have all the fun. Your Highness, your mission is complete.
The world is going Simpsons, and BK is in on it.
I know. All it takes is a touch-tone telephone for you to play Phone Jeopardy at home. And every time you call Phone Jeopardy, you could even win the $1,000 daily prize or the $10,000 grand prize.
You left out phone, Jeff, just so you know.
Where? How to get that point across.
Here we go, we're speeding along. Here we go.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and immediately you'll be playing the new, easy Phone Jeopardy. I like the way the card stopped in the middle of all of that, but that's okay. And to start you on your way to winning big, we've included questions from recent Jeopardy shows. Here's a 100... You want to show me the next card too, John? No, just leave them there. She drank the poison that Captain Hook intended for Peter Pan.
Tinkerbell!
Fuck 'em.
Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee? I never tasted it. Now, what do you think of Wilkins?
I always think of Wilkins Coffee as the wake-up coffee in America. Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live on this June 26, 2023. I'm Jason DeCanio. It's Monday, folks. So tomorrow on the program, we're going to be looking at cryptocurrency, the do's, the don'ts, the history, what it's all about, and what you should do to invest your money in maybe something other than cryptocurrency. Does the future look grim or bright for this interesting form of money investments that's having everybody hyped? Plus, we'll continue our look at the best beaches in the world. As you know, Brandon Martin showed us last week some of the great stuff for summertime. We're going to finish up our tour of the 50 states of beaches. We was somewhere around California. We was finishing up. So we'll look at the remaining states and give you some of the beaches that are there as well. Plus other things as well. We've got news, sports, headlines. It's a lot of great stuff. Keep up for the promos as well, because that's important. All right? And a happy 49th birthday to Derek Jeter, who was born in Pennock Township, New Jersey on June 26, 1974. The son of an accountant, Dorothy, and substance abuse counselor, Sanderson Charles Jeter. His mother is of English, German, and Irish ancestry, while his father is African American, and they met while serving in the United States Army in Germany. His father played baseball at Fisk University in Tennessee as a shortstop and holds a Ph.D. And when Jeter was a child, his parents made him sign a contract every year that defined acceptable and unacceptable forms of behavior. Dorothy instilled a positive attitude in her son, insisting that he not use the word can't. It was a baseball family, and Jeter's younger sister, Charlie, was a softball star in high school. The Jeters lived in New Jersey until Derek was 4 years old, at which point they moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan. At age 5, Jeter began playing Little League Baseball. 3 children lived with their parents during the school year and spent their summers with their grandparents in New Jersey, attending New York Yankees games with his parents and grandparents. Jeter became a passionate fan of the team. Watching star outfielder Dave Winfield inspired him to pursue a career in baseball. Jeter attended Kalamazoo Central High School, where he ran cross country in the fall, played basketball in the winter, and baseball in the spring. He posted high batting averages for the school's baseball team. He batted .557 in his sophomore year and .508 as a junior. In his senior year, he batted .508 and compiled 23 runs batted in, 21 walks, 4 home runs, and a .637 on-base percentage, an .831 slugging percentage, 12 stolen bases in 12 attempts, and only 1 strikeout. He received several honors after his senior season, including the Kalamazoo Area B'nai B'rith Award for Scholar Athlete, the 1992 High School Player of the Year Award from the American Baseball Coaches Association, the 92 Gatorade High School Player of the Year Award, and USA Today's High School Player of the Year. He also received an All-State honorable mention in basketball. Jeter earned a baseball scholarship to attend the University of Michigan and play college baseball for the Michigan Wolverines. The Houston Astros held the first overall pick in the 1992 MLB draft. Hall of Fame pitcher Hal Newhouser, who worked for the Astros as a scout, evaluated Jeter extensively and lobbied team management to select him. Fearing Jeter would insist on a salary bonus of at least $1 million to forego college for a professional contract, they chose Cal State Fullerton outfielder Phil Nevin, who signed for $700,000. Newhouser felt so strongly about Jeter's potential that he quit his job with the Astros in protest after they ignored his drafting advice. The Yankees, who selected 6th, also rated Jeter highly. Yankees scout Dick Grouch, signed to scout in the Midwest, watched Jeter participate in an all-star camp held at Western Michigan University. Though Yankees officials were concerned that Jeter would attend college instead of signing a professional contract, Grouch convinced them to select him, saying, "The only place Derek Jeter's going is to Cooperstown." The 2nd through 5th picks were Paul Schway, B.J. Wallace, Jeffrey Hammonds, and Chad Motola. Those 5 would combine for 2 All-Star Game appearances, Nevin and Hammonds. The Yankees drafted Jeter, who chose to turn pro, signing for $800,000. Jeter played 4 seasons in minor league baseball, formerly known as the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues. He began the 92 season with the Gulf Coast Yankees of the rookie-level Gulf Coast League, based in Tampa, Florida. In his first professional game, Jeter failed to get a hit in 7 at-bats, going 0 for 7, while striking out 5 times. He continued to struggle during the rest of the season, batting .202 in 47 games. Manager Gary Denbo benched Jeter in the season's final game to ensure his average would not drop below 200, known in baseball as the Mendoza line. Homesick and frustrated by his lack of success, Jeter accrued $400 per month for phone bills from daily calls to his parents. The Yankees promoted Jeter to the Greensboro Hornets of the Class A South Atlantic League to give him more at-bats. He batted .247 in his first 11 games with Greensboro, struggled defensively, making 9 errors and 48 chances, weighing 156 pounds, and he had a scrawny appearance that did not match his reputation as the Yankees' future leader. Jorge Posada and Andy Pettitte, who played for the Hornets that season, at first questioned the hype surrounding Jeter, but recognized his talent and poise. He focused the next offseason on his fielding. Baseball America rated Jeter among the top 100 prospects in baseball before the 1993 season, ranking him 44th. Returning to the Hornets in 1993, his first full season of professional baseball, Jeter hit .295 with 5 home runs, 71 RBIs, and 18 stolen bases. SLA managers voted him the most outstanding major league prospect in the league, and he finished second in the SAL in triples with 11, third in hits with 152, and 11th in batting average, and was named to the postseason All-Star team. He committed 56 errors, which was an SLA record, and despite this, he was named the SLA's best defensive shortstop, most exciting player, and best infield arm by Baseball America. Coming off his strong 1993 season, Baseball America rated Derek Jeter as the 16th best prospect in baseball. And Jeter played for the Tampa Yankees of the Class A Advanced Florida State League and the Albany Colony Yankees of the Class AA Eastern League and the Columbus Clippers of the Class AAA International League during the 1994 season, combining to hit .344 with 5 home runs, 68 ribbies, and steal 50 bases across the 3 levels. He was honored with Minor League Player of the Year awards by Baseball America, The Sporting News, and Topps. He was also named the most valuable player of the FSL. Considered the 4th best prospect in baseball by Baseball America heading into the 1995 season, Jeter was projected as the starting shortstop for the Yankees. However, he suffered mild inflammation in his right shoulder in the Arizona Fall League after the conclusion of the 1994 regular season. And as a precaution, the Yankees signed Tony Fernandez to a 2-year contract. With Fernandez, the starting shortstop, the Yankees signed Jeter to Class AAA. During the 1994-95 Major League Baseball strike, Gene Michael, the Yankees general manager, offered Jeter the opportunity to work out for the MLB team with replacement players in spring training before the 1995 season. Jeter denied receiving the offer, and he did not cross the picket line. Early in the 95 season, Fernandez and infielder Pat Kelly were injured. Consequently, Jeter made his MLB debut on May 29, 1995. He was assigned uniform number 2, which was most recently worn by Mike Gallego from 1992 to 1994. Batting 9th, he went hitless in 5 at-bats, striking out once. The following day, he recorded his first 2 major league hits and scored his first 2 career runs. Jeter batted .250, committed 2 errors in 13 games before being returned to Class AAA Columbus. Fernandez replaced Jeter at shortstop, and the Yankees advanced to the postseason in 1995. Jeter traveled with the team during the 1995 American League Division Series, though he was not on the active roster. The Yankees lost to the Seattle Mariners. And after Fernandez batted a disappointing .245 and appeared in only 108 games due to injuries in 1995, newly hired Yankees manager Joe Torre turned to Jeter for the 1996 season, hoping for a .250 batting average and a dependable defense. Yankees owner George Steinbrenner, often skeptical of young players, was unconvinced. And after Clyde King, a close Steinbrenner advisor, observed Jeter for 2 days in spring training in 1996, he came away with the impression that Jeter was not yet ready to contribute at the major league level. To provide depth to the team at the shortstop position after an injury to Fernandez, Steinbrenner approved a trade that would have sent pitcher Mariano Rivera to the Mariners for shortstop Felix Fermin. But Michael by then the vice president of scouting and assistant general manager Brian Cashman, convinced Steinbrenner to give Jeter an opportunity. Rated the sixth best prospect in baseball by Baseball America heading into the 1996 season, Jeter started on opening day, the first Yankee rookie to start as shortstop for the team since Tom Tresh in 1962. He hit his first MLB home run that day. With his speed and ability to execute the hit and run, Jeter served as a compliment to leadoff hitter Tim Raines while batting in the ninth spot in the batting order. By year's end, he far exceeded Torre's expectations and anyone's, hitting .314 with 10 home runs, 104 runs scored, and 78 ribbies. He was named the unanimous AL Rookie of the Year, receiving all 28 first-place votes in only the fifth sweep in the Honors' 50-year history. And as you know, and as we continue to look down, he had a fantastic time with the Yankees until he retired in 2014. And he's still among the best of the best. The man's going to go down in history, folks, as one of the greatest players of all time. Probably will be talked about for years to come. But today we celebrate his birthday, his 49th birthday. Next year he turns 50, folks. What a milestone to Derek Jeter. And we thank you, Derek Jeter, for your years of service to the New York Yankees and those in the Bronx. I know you were hated by Mets fans. You were still loved regardless of the fact that you played baseball and stayed with the same team for almost 20 years. We thank you very much. Well, when we come back, we'll finish up what day is today with a look at some of the holidays of today and wrap up this edition of DMS 3000 News Live, Episode 9, and get ready for tomorrow's edition. We'll be right back.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I'm just gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
McDonald's hotcakes for breakfast. Fresh cooked and deliciously light. Served with whipped butter and syrup. Moorish. And only $1.95.
Snack time, McDonald's. Snack time.
Hello?
Get Jason warming up.
Excuse me?
Come on, guys, quit playing games. Get Bobby up right now.
I think you might have the wrong number.
What? Who is this?
Who's this? Brother, you called me. You got the wrong number,
Hey,
okay?
I don't know what you guys doing.
Freak.
This is Brad. He's using Roadrunner High-Speed Online to play along with Game Show Network's Lingo on GSN.com. He got it for just $34.95 a month for 6 months. Brad hasn't left his room since. When Brad signed up for Roadrunner, he was entered to win a 51-inch Sony high-def TV. And they're trying to deliver it now.
Hey, Brad, open the door.
Sign up for Roadrunner today. You'll save money and have a chance to win one of these great Sony prizes from Game Show Network.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cheese.
Interrupting.
Cheese!
Should have seen that one coming.
You should have, because that was... I even told you I was going to be interrupting you. Morning, sir. Beautiful day, isn't it?
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Night and day, the calls. Save me this, save me that. I'm a gecko, not Geico. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So you want to change your name? People confusing you with Geico, calling you at all hours? What name would you like?
Komodo Dragon, please.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Hey, Guy Fieri here. As host of TV's Ultimate Recipe Showdown, I see great home cooks face off every week. We looked at thousands of recipes, and now the dishes inspired by our champions are all at Fridays. People spent years perfecting these. There's so much going on here. Smokiness, sweetness, big seasoning, big flavor. You gotta check this out. Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu starting at just $8.99. Give me more Fridays.
From Hasbro Gaming. Where will your choices take you in the game of life? What job will you choose?
To start filling my law firm with clients and stop filling your faces with donuts. Now get out! I'm definitely going to be a lawyer.
But watch out for life surprises.
Whoa, I'm having twins.
Congratulations! It's twins! Anything can happen in the game of life from Hasbro Gaming. Here's 2 more. Good luck with that.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. This is episode 9, and of course, I'm your host, Jason DeCanio, for June 26, 2023. And tomorrow on the program, we'll be looking at cryptocurrency, what you should be worried about, what you should be investing in, and all the money matters of tomorrow. Also, we'll continue our look at the famous beaches across the country. We looked at some of them already, but we'll pick up where we left off last week. And, of course, Brandon Martin's got some great stuff going on in the next 3 days as well. Don't forget, tonight we have our contestants ready going for quarterfinals number 3 of Super Password with Brandon Martin. Hopefully you'll be able to come into Discord and watch a taping, a recording. Plus, we have Blockbusters at 8 o'clock and Joker's Wild at 9 o'clock. So all of that happening tonight on Discord. So for the people at the game show community, please join us then if you have some time, and enjoy some recordings of some fantastic game shows. Speaking of which, on the David 3000 Network, we're happy to report that over our 1,000 subscribers now, we have a total of one. We've added 2 more subscribers, so we're at 1.02K. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the David 3000 Network and like to be part of the family, hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, we have some other positions being filled. I'll talk more about that on tomorrow's show, give you an update and run what's going on during the summertime, and calling a big meeting that we're going to have sometime in August as well. So if you'd like to be part of the production team of the David 3000 Network, you can contact me or David St. Dennis, and we will be glad to talk to you and interview you and get you on board. And the only thing we ask is that you have a heavy commitment to it. So if you say yes, we would like you to back up that yes. Okay? On to other things. Time now is 9:21. on this Monday, June 26, 2023. So what day is today, right? Yeah, we are looking at some interesting days, and first of all, we'll start off with National Sarah Day. That's Sarah. And it's observed on this day, June 26th. It celebrates everyone who goes by the name of Sarah. Sarah is a feminine given name found in many different areas around the world, and it is a consistently popular one across Europe, North America, and the Middle East. Sarah is commonly used as a female first name by Jews and Christians alike, and also remains popular among non-religious people in cultures influenced by these religions. Sarah, born Sarai or Sarai in Hebrew, is a biblical matriarch and prophetess who is a major figure in Abrahamic religions. And as much as different Abrahamic faiths portray her differently, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all depict her characters similarly. They describe her as a pious woman, renowned for her hospitality and beauty, and she is the wife and half-sister of Abraham and the mother of Isaac. September 1st is Sarah's feast day in the Catholic Church. August 19th is the Coptic Orthodox Church. And January 20th in LCMS, and December 12th and 20th in the Eastern Orthodox Church. In the biblical narrative, Abraham says in two places that Sarah is his sister. Once was in the encounter with Pharaoh, and another time in the encounter with Abimelech. Abraham lies because he knows Sarah is a stunning beauty and fears that the Pharaoh will kill him to be with Sarah. Sarah was originally called Sarai. When Yahweh promises Abram that he and Sarai will have a son, he renames Abraham, and Sarai is renamed Sarah. Folk etymologies exist that explain their old and new names. The name Sarah also has Indian roots, where it refers to Geta Sara, meaning the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, famous Hindu text. Sarah also has several meanings in Sanskrit, such as main point, essence, substance, etc. In the United States, Sarah has been counted among the top 150 female given names since 1880, when name popularity statistics were first recorded in the nation. From 1978 to 2002, Sarah ranked among the top 10 names. However, it reached a plateau in popularity from the early 80s to 1988. Every year since then, and including 1989, it has dropped in popularity, but remained the 30th most popular name for newborn girls. In 2010, Sarah, its most common variant spelling was number 121. Sarah has also been popular in Ireland and the United Kingdom. In England, the name gained popularity after the Protestant Reformation and was the most popular name in the United Kingdom between 74 and 84. Sarah ranked as the 10th most popular female baby name in Ireland in 2014. So it all started back. There was a timeline, February 11th, 1964. Politician's birthday, Sarah Palin, the 2008 Republican vice presidential nominee, is born. Go to 1982, animated Sarah movie. Australian animated drama film named Sarah. Hello Princess, Sarah Ferguson marries Prince Andrew and becomes the Duchess of York in 1986. And June 2008, Sarah is feted. The Alumni Association of North Idaho College gives Sarah Palin its Distinguished Alumni Achievement Award. So, what do you want to do today? Learn some history. Name your baby and hug a Sarah. That's right. And there's 5 facts about different Sarahs. The influence of fans, the macabre obsession, the change of plans, plain fearful, and a powerful voice. And why we love the National Sarah Day? We celebrate famous people. We learn the history, and we eat cake. Yes, we eat cake. Very interesting. And that's a look at National Sarah Day. Let's look at Canoe Day for all those people who are up the creek without a paddle. Yes, it's celebrated on June 26th every year, and though it is a Canadian holiday, it's celebrated here in the U.S. as well. You know, canoeing is both a sport and a recreational activity, one that's relaxing and good for the environment. Wherever there is water, there are canoeists. On National Canoe Day, thousands visit their favorite waterways, exploring their lakes and rivers or participating in competitive aquatic events. Canoeing is a fun activity that's easy to learn and friendly to people across different age groups. It's also a low-impact form of exercise, so it's good for your health, too. Canoes have been around for millennia and used by different cultures and civilizations throughout the ages. The oldest canoe in existence dates back to 8000 BC. It was carved out by hand with basic flintstone tools from the hollowed-out trunk of a pine tree. Canoes predate the arrival of Europeans on the American continent, and they were widely used as a method of transport, catching food, trading items, and even in warfare. Native Americans used canoes made of birch bark trees, tying together strips of wood with strong roots, then sealing them up with a pitch to prevent leakage. 3500 BC, the design of South American canoes was simpler but still effective, and they made their boats from hollowed-out logs, which they expanded with heat and sharpened on both ends. This made them cut through the water faster. Around 1500 BC, Polynesians had very elaborate, colorful canoes equipped with sails and crossbeams. They were much larger and sturdier than conventional canoes, as their purpose was ocean voyages. By the 19th century, the techniques and technology for building canoes had evolved thanks to centuries of interaction with Europeans. Canoeing became a popular activity in the Western world as a result of this. And in a world when ships and railroads existed, there was no need for canoes to be utilized for maritime transportation. Instead, Europeans used them for recreational and sporting purposes. John MacGregor, an English explorer who popularized canoeing in the United States and Europe, created the Royal Canoe Club of London in 1866. This was followed by the American Canoe Association, formed in 1880. And then in 1946, the International Canoe Federation was founded, acting as the umbrella body for national canoe organizations worldwide. So, what are you going to do today if you're a canoeer? You're going to go for canoe lessons, attend a canoe race, purchase one. Maybe. I don't know about that. But here are some 5 interesting facts about canoeing. There was the longest canoe trip. Don Starkle in 1980 and his teenage sons paddled from Winnipeg, Canada to the Amazon River, covering more than 12,000 miles over 2 years. Florida has the eldest canoes, more than 400 old dugout canoes preserved in their original state, the highest number in the world. Hungarians are canoeing champions. They've won 41 medals in canoeing since 1980, with 18 of them being gold. Canoes are different from kayaks. Yes, canoes have open decks with rowers sitting or kneeling inside the canoe, while kayaks have closed decks with a hole cut in the center where the rower sits. And canoes were used during World War II. During Operation Frankton, canoes were used to transport commandos to raid ships in the French port of Bordeaux, which was under German occupation at the time. And why we love Canoe Day. It highlights an obscure sport. Canoeing is one of the lesser-known water sports. It doesn't get much mainstream coverage compared to other events like swimming, sailing, or diving. And National Canoe Day brings awareness to this activity and its competitive water sports variants. Teaches us to appreciate the environment. And whether you're doing it recreationally or competing in an event, canoeing takes place outdoors. On National Canoe Day, we get in touch with Mother Nature and deepen our appreciation for the environment. And it keeps canoeing relevant. Yes, National Canoe Day doesn't just celebrate one of the oldest forms of transport and recreation. It also keeps the conversation on this activity going. Every year on June 26th, more people get to know about canoeing and its history. And there you have it, summed up. National Canoe Day. And here's something that we really need to focus ourselves on today is National Forgiveness Day. Yes, This day is not to be confused with Global Forgiveness Day, which is observed on July 7th and is actually an offshoot of Forgiveness Day. The day was incepted in 1994 by the Christian Embassy of Christ's Ambassadors. That was established in line with Christianity's teachings around forgiveness. Now, we should always forgive all who trespass against us. But even in the secular world, forgiveness means different things to different people. And today is the day to shed old grievances or grudges and forgive those who have wronged us. The practice of forgiveness can be traced back thousands of years, with mention being made in numerous religious texts. It may seem like a difficult task, but it is merely letting go of anger, hurt, or a desire for vengeance. From the Bible to the Quran, each religion has specific stories and teachings that relate to the act of forgiveness and the impact it can have on our lives and others. In the Bible, Christ forgives from the cross, and some of the earliest depictions of forgiveness arise from Buddhist, Hindu, and Jewish theologies and philosophies. More recently, much research has been done on forgiveness as it relates to us physically and psychologically, specifically in the fields of psychology, sociology, and medicine. And forgiveness has been linked to many mental health benefits, including reduced stress, anger, depression, and state anxiety. Positive relational health, including improved social support and marital quality, comes with forgiveness. And it also leads to an array of physical health benefits, including lower blood pressure and improved cardiovascular health. Dr. Frederick Luskin, director of the Stanford University Forgiveness Project, began his research in the field of forgiveness. His results showed that forgiveness training helped people feel significantly less hurt. And he noted that they could learn techniques for forgiving specific and more general resentment and forgive the particular person who had caused them pain. His follow-up study in 2003 reported that the mental benefits of forgiveness training were still present 6 months after the training. So, what are you going to do today? Well, you're going to practice self-forgiveness. That means extend yourself compassion. Show yourself some love and forgive yourself. This may be the most difficult kind of forgiveness. And forgive others. Call, talk to, or email someone who may have wronged you. Forgive them and begin to heal. And watch a movie or read a book about forgiveness. Remind yourself how powerful forgiveness is and the positivity it can bring to your life. The more you learn, the easier you will find it to forgive people. And here's 5 facts about forgiveness. Forgiveness can make you happier and healthier. Why not, right? Research shows that holding on to grudges results in chronic stress, which can make you more vulnerable to disease. Forgiveness strengthens relationships. Research shows that forgiveness enables couples to work together more cooperatively, whereas couples who don't tend to forgive do not work together as well. Forgiveness does not mean you condone. Forgiveness does not condone actions. It means you have let go. An apology isn't necessary. So don't expect an apology, but rather forgive that person so you can move forward. And then you need to let go of the anger. You will need to work through negative emotions before being able to fully forgive. If you can do those 5 things today, there you go. And why is Forgiveness Day important? It's an empowering day, and it shows that love wins. And finally, it's centered around peace and acceptance. And that's what we should have, not just today, but every day. And now, a tasty little treat we call pudding, or pudding, National Pudding Day. It was the lunch table trump snack. If you looked in your sack lunch and saw a snack pack, Swiss Miss, or Jell-O brand chocolate pudding, you knew you had top currency. The lunch table and all its contents were your domain, and you could trade for anything you wanted. Not that you ever would, of course. Indulging yourself in a little chocolate pudding doesn't have to be a nostalgic childhood memory, a feel-good pastime. We're pleased to tell you that June 26th is National Chocolate Pudding Day, when adults and kids alike can heap spoonful after spoonful of the stuff with abandon. If it's pudding's creaminess and smooth texture that make you melt, you may grimace at its origins as a sometimes savory, cakey dessert. But in the 17th century, pudding was served after dinner and included everything from grains to raw mutton fat. Definitely not the spoonable suaveness we know and love today. And while the origin of National Chocolate Pudding Day is a bit obscure, we can at least take comfort in knowing it arose after creamy pudding was invented in the mid-1800s. We take our chocolate pudding without raw kidney fat, thank you. National Chocolate Pudding Day activities. Take homemade pudding or your favorite pre-made variety and serve it in a parfait cup, champagne flute, a wine glass, or any other container that screams class, and present it to your friends. And for that extra flair, add fruit, whipped cream, dark chocolate bits, or cinnamon sticks. The last thing you want is a vanilla party on Chocolate Pudding Day. Use your creativity to jazz things up a bit. Make mud pies. You know, a children's favorite. All you need is some chocolate pudding, Oreos, and gummy worms. Arrange the crushed Oreos over the pudding and push those gummy worms halfway into the dirt so it looks like they're emerging. You and your kids will have a blast creating and eating this fun dessert. And at least, for today, let them get messy. It's only pudding after all. And surprise a friend. You know, find a chocolate pudding cup brand that doesn't require refrigeration and leave one out for a friend or partner with a quirky note. Perhaps something like, "Thanks for putting up with me all these years," would go over well. Even if it's just, "Thanks for being my friend." It's an easy way to surprise a friend and celebrate Chocolate Pudding Day all at once. Why we love this Chocolate Pudding National Day? Well, it's a sweet summer treat. You know, it is officially summer, and while lemonade and ice cream often take the title as top summer treats, why not cool off with a smooth afternoon pudding cup? Even better, try freezing your pudding for a delicious chilled dessert. Here's a secret. Pudding companies may tell you not to freeze the cups for fear it will change the texture or flavor. But believe us, it's an exciting and healthier alternative to ice cream on long summer days. And it's quick, it's easy, and delicious. Whether you're staying loyal to your favorite pudding cup brand or making your own from scratch, chocolate pudding is an easy delight. Simply wash out your cup and recycle when you're done. Or if you're making your own, use the microwave and around 5 ingredients. Just 10 minutes and you're done. Cleanup is no different than any other one-bowl dish. And it goes well with other desserts. If you have a few extra ingredients lying around and want the creme de la creme of chocolate pudding treats, try mixing them together for a creation all your own. And don't let those last crumbs of graham cracker go to waste. Mix them in. Need to use the whipped cream before it loses its texture? Whip up some chocolate pudding to go with it. And if you really want to go crazy, do what I do. Icebox cake. Yeah, look that up, my friends. Icebox cake, what it is. Hey, Cypress TV is in the house today. Good morning. We welcome you to DMS 3000 News Live. We're looking at all the national holiday days today before we wrap up the program. So let's do a couple more and then call it a day. How about, let's see, World Refrigeration Day. Okay. Let's see what this one's all about. Well, we are also set to celebrate and appreciate the refrigeration sector for making our lives better than ever before. Did you know that the first mechanical refrigerator was made more than 300 years ago? Before that, people depended on storing edibles in cellars or underwater to keep them cool and safe from bacteria. Modern refrigeration revolutionized the way of living, and it is considered an essential part of life. Now, nearly all households in the United States have at least one refrigerator, according to a 2009 report by the U.S. Department of Energy. Some have two and hide the other one in the garage. Refrigeration completely changed the way people lived their lives, gave them comfort, better food, and drink storage options, and even helped in saving lives. This wonder of science and technology is everywhere around us, and it helps the surgeon operate in air-conditioned hospitals, which reduces the possibility of infection by bacteria. Our food and drinks remain safe to consume even after weeks. It is used in spaceships to control the temperature, and it is even used for sports. On World Refrigeration Day, we celebrate the wonder of refrigeration, and it was first celebrated on June 26, 2019, 4 years ago. Refrigeration has always been a necessity for people through the ages. People in China used to cut and store ice around 1000 BC. Indians and Egyptians kept earthen pots outside at night to form ice. In the 18th century, Europeans wrapped salted ice in flannel and kept it underground. The onset of modern refrigeration started with William Cullen, who observed the cooling tendency of the evaporation process in 1720. And in 1835, Jacob Perkins, the father of the refrigerator, was granted the first patent for a vapor compression cycle which used liquid ammonia. The title of his patent was Apparatus and Means for Producing Ice and Incalling Fluids. The popularity of refrigeration grew by leaps and bounds in the 19th century. It was widely used first by breweries and then by the meat industry, and slowly it became essential for normal households. So it goes all the way back to 1396 AD, winds its way up in 1756 to 1904, then to 1965, and finally, right now, almost 18 years ago in 2005, was deemed that the refrigerator becomes a household essential, where there are now 99% present in American households. Interesting. So, what are we going to do today? We're going to read up about the inventions in the world of refrigeration. It's time to pay our respects to the refrigeration world. And what's better than reading up about the inventions? Read about the inventors and what they went through to bring refrigeration to your home. Attend the webinars and talks on refrigeration. Yeah, on this day, various organizations hold webinars and seminars on the importance of refrigeration as well as the career options in this field. Join these seminars to learn more. And decorate your refrigerator. Spend the day decorating your refrigerator with magnets and art you made for the World Refrigeration Day. Unleash your artistic style and go crazy with the decorations. And here is 5 interesting facts about refrigerators. Haunted Refrigerator Night is a thing. Yes, it is celebrated on October 30th, and it is a night full of spooky things. The first commercial refrigerator was made by General Motors in 1911, and the most popular line was Kelvinator. By 1923, it held 80% of the market. The world's largest refrigerator is 16.7 miles long, and it's part of the Large Hadron Collider, which is a particle accelerator and is located on the French-Swiss border. The first refrigerators came in 2 parts. The machinery was kept in the basement, while the icebox was on the floor above. Both were connected through wires, meaning you had to cut a hole in your floor. And without refrigerators, edible foods could not be transported to places, and it would have been impossible to keep them fresh to sell. And why we love this day? Well, it's a day to appreciate the wonders of refrigeration. It took years of unrelenting hard work to achieve the greatness we have today. We spend the day appreciating the work of inventors who invested their lives to give us a comfortable life. And it's also a celebration. Give yourself this day to appreciate the cool refrigerating devices you have at home. They make your lives immensely easy. Make sure they are working properly and keep them clean. And it's a perfect day to buy a new refrigerating product if you have to get one because yours cut out finally. Utilize this day by doing the best thing possible, getting a new product, indulge in a new refrigerating device, and say goodbye to your old devices. And if you still happen to have a refrigerator that is working, regardless of the fact, move that refrigerator into the garage and store your precious beer where it belongs, at easy reach while working on your car. That is today of What Day Is Today. And we have some comments here that I want to share with you from Cypress TV. How fitting is Forgive Day considering what's going to happen later? What do you mean what's going to happen later? I don't know. I don't know what that means. But I hope nothing bad is going to happen. We don't, and for those on National Forgiveness Day, for all those trolls out there who continue to troll and continue to, excuse bad behavior as acceptable, please, for all time's sake, don't do it. One day out of your life, back off, do something better. Have some pudding, for crying out loud. Chocolate pudding makes everybody happy. I don't know what else to tell you. That's, as far as I'm concerned, Chocolate Pudding Day probably makes everything better for everyone. It's just easier to do. It's easy to make. And by golly, it tastes good. And at that point, I'm gone here. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, folks. I'm Jason DeCanio. Have a great day. And remember, be honest, be real, keep it simple, stupid. Just have a great day. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Democracy Network for great more content like this one.